There has never been a season since we started with the Rival Series and the Promotion Tournament where a Rival Series team has not played its way into the big show from that Promotion Tournament. Singularity is the last hope. Now, I know Leaf and the desk are really interested in what we thought, so we're going to give our predictions. I actually think TSM is going to knock off Singularity here, only because Alpha is insane.
That's a very good point to be made, is Alpha is insane, and I'm going to take a page out of Leaf's book from yesterday, and whoever scores the most goals is going to win the series.
That's a great, you know what, that is perfect.
Leaf taught me well.
You know, and if TSM loses this match, there's a good chance, or there is a chance, that they could then lose to Complexity.
No, I mean, it's hard to bet against TSM here in this matchup. They've looked solid today. They honestly didn't look terrible throughout the entire season. They just had some bad breaks throughout the whole run. If you look at their stats, I mean, they look like a team that could have gone 5-2, but a few of those games got away from them, and right off the kickoff, TSM put under pressure from Team Singularity.
Much like Cloud9 and G2 in North America, it does seem like a very much reformed TSM squad, as Noli will play this across. It will not find Godsmilla. Instead, Alpha is there, well ahead of everybody else. Remco bounced away from that play, so Metsonoris comes in to help out. Tho now, backboard for himself, dropped it down but not on target, and a team effort by TSM to boom it downfield.
Oh, infield pass perfectly placed. Metsonoris with the double tap, and TSM showing you why they're deadly.
Great play set up by Remco as he just gets it over to Metza, and that miss by Godsmilla proves fatal. Metsonoris scores the first goal of what could be a ton in this series. Neither team defensively has been all that spectacular throughout their respective league plays.
TSM just showing you why they are one of the best teams that we've seen in the promotion tournament rather. Since the inception, it's just you turn your head away and they're already on offense, already putting shots on target.
Noli was a force to be reckoned with in the first round win over Complexity, but this time it's Godsmilla taking the shot, and it floats wide.
Right idea to go far post there, keep it away from the defender.
Played back downfield, Alpha will collect, making a beeline towards that corner boost, but he's cut out by Tho. This will go over Godsmilla, so Noli will play it. Kind of a basic shot that'll be easily set away by Alpha. He's trying to play the rebound, does not get there, and now Metsonoris can start it downfield for TSM. Alpha out of the corner. Remco was not in position for that pass, but still collects it, and Noli will clear it downfield. Missed opportunity for TSM.
Really impressed with the play of Noli this week. You saw him up there for potential player of the day, and good clear there from Tho. This one's gonna wrap around. But Noli last week, a terrible performance, and I think even he would say that. The dish over to Tho, cut out from Remco. But back to Noli, he has just turned it around completely, put this team on his back so far today.
5 goals and 4 assists for Noli in the series against Complexity that went the distance, all 7 games. Godsmilla, tough ball out of the corner. It'll be Tho. Wins that challenge somehow, and now he can center, but has nobody coming on in support, and so a wasted opportunity by Team Singularity. Godsmilla throws one down. Metsonoris has to be careful with this ball. It'll find Tho, back to Noli. Tho's got a full tank, but he can't really do anything with that first touch. The second one, a little better, but slowed things down way too much, and TSM will not concede many goals given that much time to recover.
Well, that's so dangerous. Good touch from Noli to get that out. Remco puts it right back towards the box. And so far, TSM really pushing Team Singularity back into the blue half continually. Team Singularity hasn't had too many good looks at net.
So now, after the demo on Metsonoris, can Singularity get anything going off of it? No. The play, again, taking too long to develop, and Metsonoris had already respawned and made the challenge. Noli, that's going to be high, and Remco clears it away. Tho waiting on the backside. Tho to center again, and Alpha 54 is right there. Godsmilla now has Tho, and Remco cuts that play out immediately. Noli will try again. but Alpha will scale the backboard and send it away yet again.
One of the big differences between the Championship Series and the Rival Series is timing. These Rival Series teams, you're seeing it right here, they think they've got just a little more time than they actually do. The Championship Series teams are just so fast to get to the ball and put challenges up and down the field.
Metsonoris over one, but Tho is waiting right there in front of that midfield boost. Can't get another touch though, and another wasted opportunity. Alpha now will throw one over to the side, and he's got Metsonoris to help him clear. Noli, I think he was trying to get that one down a little bit towards Tho. Instead, it's cleared downfield and almost put in off of Godsmilla.
And here comes Metza looking for that double going down, though. Reads that waterfall well, but TSM keeping pressure in the blue half. Singularity unable to do anything. Noli, though, looking for a pass down to Godsmilla, cut off from Metsonoris, and there's that speed we were talking about, Stacks.
Yet another low-scoring game coming down to the final 30 seconds. 1-0 to TSM, trying to kill off the final 15 seconds. Remco with plenty of boost to do so from the ceiling, almost spiked down on that ball. That big shot from Alpha, that doesn't find the mark. Metsonoris put one way high, and it's given an opportunity to Singularity, but Noli couldn't control it. They still at least get a shot off downfield, though we'll have this. It's a good infield pass, but a better defensive clear by Metsonoris. And TSM, boy, they looked a lot like the old San Antonio Spurs, just not a lot of action there, but enough to frustrate you on the defensive end.
Yeah, that's a great analogy there, Stacks. They're not playing anything too crazy, but it's just good, solid Team Rocket League. All players rotating through the zone, all players putting just good pressure at midfield, not allowing Singularity to get comfortable. But look at this pass from Remco, hits Metsonoris on a dime, and he follows the double tap up to give TSM the only goal of the game, but that's all they needed.
Are these the worst kind of games to lose, though? I mean, you see this for now the fourth time seeing that replay. For Godsmilla, you gotta have that ball, and then that's gotta eat away at you for the next 2 to 3 minutes while you still get stifled. You don't get any shots. I mean, they got 4 shots all game. Turns out that one mistake is the difference, and now they have to reset going on to Neo Tokyo.
Well, if this team wants to propel themselves into the RLCS, get used to having your mistakes punished, because that's what's going to happen. Any small mistake you make, especially in your own zone, in the top of the, or in the middle of the box, you're going to get scored on. So they need to fix those mistakes. You've got to let it go, though. You have to get that out of your mind. Focus on game number 2, because they kept it tight. They didn't allow a run of the score. They kept TSM right there with them, but there was no midfield control from Singularity. They couldn't push forward at all. Passing plays got cut off. They were too slow, and they were just really just showing their hands way too much.
Metsonoris, a Player of the Day candidate, and he is looking to add to his resume here. Had a strong series earlier on to get to within 1 match of retaining their spot in the RLCS. Remco have that ball blocked away to the Singularity corner. Now Metsonoris with a good challenge. Alpha turns away, and actually both Alpha and Remco turning tail and running back to their own zone. Now Alpha, powerful pass out to Remco, and Noli will have it, as Remco didn't get any power behind the shot.
That's a good touch there from Noli over to Godsmilla. But I'd like to see Godsmilla maybe try and hold that one a little closer to his chest. Great defensive demo to give that ball over to Tho and give themselves a look at offense.
Tho plays one in, but not all that close to the net. Alpha will get credit for a save. Now Remco banking another ball out across midfield, and Singularity will back up and try it again. Godsmilla now. Up against Metsonoris. Metsonoris is going to turn back and let somebody else take this challenge. That somebody else is Remco, and he gets there just ahead of Tho. Now Noli off the corner, but nobody there for Singularity again. Godsmilla comes in a little late. Save made by Remco. And it feels like almost goalie practice right now for TSM.
That bump there from Alpha was beautiful. He got the player pushed forward in front of the ball. Looking for the pass, but no way Alpha's going to let you just see it through.
Metsadorus and Alpha. It'll be Alpha who takes over, and boy, is he ever the Alpha.
Good catch here in the corner and just keeps it on top of his hood and carries it all the way through the net. Alpha with his first goal of the series.
And only 3 in the series earlier today against Method. We've been talking a lot about how Alpha has not looked like at all what he looked like in the early part of this season and all last season when he was, of course, the European RLCS MVP. Godsmilla, tough angle to go up for this ball. Metsadorus will beat him to the punch. Now, though, tough shot, it's on target, and Remco makes the save, not without a little bit of drama. Alpha trying to interfere with Tho, maybe get a redirect, but Tho is able to make the clear and start this downfield for Singularity, who have not scored in almost 8 minutes. And this will be saved away by Remco.
Yeah, those shots are just way too weak. Easily saved. You're not making TSM have to think at all. It's just pure mechanics coming through from TSM. And speaking of mechanics, Metsadorus putting them on display.
There's only been 1 assist because players like Metsadorus are freakishly good at their best. Drops that down. And the defense from Singularity, lacking a little bit there. Somebody's got to go up and challenge him, and nobody did.
If you give TSM, any member of TSM, that much space, that much time with the ball, they're going to make you pay.
Double commit by Singularity, Tho, and Noli. It may turn into a goal all the same, but Tho's last touch pushed it all the way across the net.
Yeah, Noli had the angle on that, but that was just an inadvertent touch there. Pressure not able to be kept. TSM just bombs it downfield. Good catch from Noli and gets it over Remco, but Remco gets the slightest touch to throw the offense off for Singularity.
Godsmilla dropping one down. It'll be played out by Metsadorus. Deep into the Singularity corner. And Metsadorus trying to chase down Tho in that corner. Tho does elude him. Doesn't take the midfield boost. Left it for a teammate. That teammate Godsmilla, but he missed the ball entirely, so Noli will try. Coming around the corner. Got this ball centered, and Remco will clear it right over to Alpha. Something we did not see a whole lot of throughout league play is TSM working as a team to work their way downfield. They're doing that all day today so far in the promotion tournament.
Oh, Godsmilla up off the ceiling. That one got away from him. Gonna turn this ball over to TSM, but Remco, nothing in the tank. Gonna allow Noli. Look at the challenge from Remco. Nothing there, and still able to get a touch on that ball.
Popped right back into the Singularity half of the field, but only out to midfield where Metsadorus can dump it right back in. Singularity scoring opportunities have been few and far between in the first 10 minutes of this series. Metsadorus up against Tho. Tho does drop it to the corner, and it will be played back downfield. Noli, not sure what he was trying to do there, maybe get it to the corner. Godsmilla will try, needs to play this himself, and Metsadorus beats him to it. Tho will try on the follow-up. Alpha has the save, and TSM are just lining up at their back line, challenging Singularity to try and beat them. It's not working out, and then Alpha almost put the game away for certain.
Yeah, it's time for Singularity to have a sense of urgency here. Less than 30 seconds to go, still chasing 2, and they're just pushing the ball away from themselves. They need to get creative here, need to try and open up something on offense, because if not, Alpha almost scoring another one here in game number 2.
Tho for Noli, last-ditch effort for Singularity, and they do not convert. TSM seconds away from another shutout, and they've got it.
2 in a row, just denying Singularity any type of offense here. Every single passing play that's starting to develop, it seems like Remco's right there to break it up.
Singularity held scoreless for yet another 5 minutes, and it's Metsadorus adding another loud goal. Alpha, he has been a large part of this, but again, 5 saves from Remco. Not something you'd expect from TSM, because they're a team that, while they didn't allow a ton of shots, they didn't make many saves. Nobody made a save on that one from Alpha.
Well, look at the catch from Alpha here. He gets the ball off the side wall, and then the ability to catch it that quickly and not get it bouncing off your hood, that's just good car control right there. How do you stop that as a defender?
I think the short answer is you don't, Subi, and that is the option that Team Singularity has opted for, and while it was a bold strategy, it has not worked out, Cotton.
And Remco there getting the MVP with 5 saves, only 1 shot. The saves coming in crucial for his team, but I think most importantly, cutting off all the passing lanes that Team Singularity were trying to develop. Just too easy to see.
Yeah, they were a menace at midfield. Singularity was, while they got their shots, eventually, they weren't high-quality shots.
Shots.
Yeah, they had shots, and yes, there were saves, but there's probably the easiest 5-save performance Remco's ever had.
Yeah, not many diving saves. You could see him coming from a mile away. You just got to put your body in front of it and knock it to the corner. But right now, Team Singularity looking to get their first win here in game number 3.
Metsonoris will push a shot wide that Tho gets a piece of, and ultimately the ball is centered for Alpha. Somebody's got to go up top to defend. Nobody did, and they're going to be counting their lucky stars that Alpha is still not quite the Alpha of old.
And Noli just gives that ball right to Alpha, though. Trying to clear it downfield. It's just going to be bombed right back. Team Singularity need to figure out some way to get this ball out of their half.
Well, TSM have figured out, much like the old Weedham girls pioneered back in Season 1, just throw the ball at the backboard, and if nobody's going to defend it, then you're going to have a field day. That's exactly what TSM is doing. Metsonoris again, throwing another one high. That will be saved by Noli, but Alpha brings another one in high out of the corner, and it will be cleared by Godsmilla.
60 seconds of sustained offense so far. Remco just barely missing that upper 90, and a breakaway opportunity cut off by Metsonoris, and Alpha with a great touch there, not allowing Noli to rotate through, and a dangerous ball at the top of the field, but there it is, the clear finally out of the blue half, and Singularity looking for some type of offense here.
Must have been about 5 or 6 times TSM put that ball up on the back wall or anywhere near it, near the net, and only one time was it actually defended up there by Singularity, and now they're going to be back on the back foot yet again. Remco should be able to bring this back across, but he's going to have a tough time with that. That kicked out a little further than expected. And because of that, Singularity can set up on offense. Godsmilla upstairs, and Alpha will send it away.
They need to get away from that backboard. They keep trying to work it, but TSM's just sitting up there. They've got a campfire going and just denying every single double touch attempt that's coming through.
Good pass this time from Godsmilla to Noli. Finally an infield pass and a blistering shot.
We were all waiting for it, and Godsmilla waits at the perfect time and feeds Noli just past midfield. And there it is, the first goal in the series for Team Singularity.
11 minutes and 59 seconds into the series, Singularity on the board. 3 minutes left in game 3. And it could be a very short-lived lead. Metsonoris drops one down to Alpha. The accuracy not quite on point, and now Noli's going to be looking for Remco. Got a piece of him, and he'll score!
Didn't have the boost to carry the ball all the way to the net, so just go upside down and look for Remco. Takes him out of the picture, just bodies him up. Man, those are fun to watch.
Alpha almost got there, but almost only counts in horseshoes. 2:46 remaining. Metsonoris will give a look to this ball. Now finally played after Godsmilla didn't get the touch he was looking for. Noli leaving one for Tho, but that's going to be cleared by TSM. Now Alpha, another save, and more importantly, he collected that ball, and he didn't clear it downfield.
Yeah, Godsmilla was just trying to keep the defense honest there.
Remco over 1, over 2, and now Alpha against Godsmilla, but does not have the boost to follow it up. And now a counterattack opportunity for Singularity that's going to go by the wayside. Alpha's onto this, looking for Metsonoris. He found him, but didn't get a lot of power. That ball still loose near the goal line, and Godsmilla sweeps it away.
Beautiful pass to the top of the box, but no one available from TSM, though on target and puts it in. Singularity up by 3.
Just a loose ball downfield, a little bit of chaos. TSM thought for sure they had a goal and could not recover. That ball looked like it had eyes on its way through, off of the hood of Tho, and a 3-goal lead for Singularity, just the answer they were looking for.
Where's this team been at the entire series? It took them a little while to figure out TSM, but now they're rolling on every single gear.
Remco will pop it downfield, but Noli's going to be there for it. Nobody from TSM forward at all. Popped up for Metsonoris to try to clear downfield. He'll need Remco's help. Remco, another touch, no, tough angle. And Metsonoris is way too far back. He'll have to turn around, and Remco's still got to help him out on his way back. Noli, ceiling, drop down for Tho, and Remco's right there. And with the help of Alpha, they clear out to midfield.
Good challenge from Noli. The ball did go off of Metsonoris, but don't allow him to go uncontested. And Team Singularity, good midfield control here. The shot from Noli over to Alpha, easily turned away, and Alpha's gonna look for a carry here. Godsmilla there for the challenge, but the demo comes through. The net opens up and Remco fires.
Well, Remco was scoring left and right in the series earlier on. He gets the cleanup job here after the demo by Alpha. And TSM certainly has life. These RLCS teams, they can score in rapid succession. We saw it yesterday in North America. No lead is safe. As Tho tries to disrupt TSM, Metsonoris over to Remco, and that's cut out by Noli. Tho will drop this to the corner for Noli. Noli to Tho, but intercepted by Metsonoris. Alpha now, does he have a second? Oh, you bet he does!
And just like that, we're within one, Stacks. The pass coming out from Metsonoris, but the double tap just so pretty from Alpha. He goes left and a cross-body shot. That's not an easy task to do.
2 seasons ago, there was a team called Savage. You might have heard of them. They dominated in the rival series and easily promoted into the RLCS. Now Alpha, a member of that team, then becoming FC Barcelona. He's found his way over to TSM. Metsonoris, all the way around to Alpha, who will play this over. Ice in the veins of the leader of this squad. He may score here on the doorstep. No, it's shut out by Godsmilla and friends. Though, that's going to be high. And Alpha and TSM will get one more look as he brushes right by Tho. Once more stopped by Noli. Metsonoris laterally out, and Remco can't recover. Team Singularity hangs on for dear life, and they have a game in this series.
Hang on by a near thread, I'm sorry. Team Singularity looking like a brand new team from the beginning of the series, holding TSM at bay here.
And it was a full team effort from Team Singularity. Everybody had their certain parts of the game where they excelled, and obviously Noli was absolutely insane, but it was this one, Godsmilla to Tho, just getting enough power behind there. It was a great counterattack, and it was actually, I believe it was Noli that set everything up right before that replay with a big clearance.
Well, you saw Metsonoris coming in really late. Could have probably swung on that backside defense on that back wall for a better look at a challenge. And good heads-up play to shoot that ball over the entire defense, just on target. Team Singularity, they're not looking at having to force a reverse sweep yet. Well, actually at all.
Yeah, well, they got out of the blocks very slowly, just 4 shots in that one game, and we wondered, how would they recover? Could they recover mentally from a game that they had to have felt that they kind of gave away to TSM? And they have 9 shots in each of the last 2 games, and they finally get one on the board.
Just when they needed it, man. I mean, they've kept Alpha at bay. That is how you stop this team. Every time Alpha had the ball on his hood, someone was there to challenge him. I think they learned, hey, you can't just let him dribble it down the field, because he's not going to just drop the ball off of his hood. He's going to carry it through. He's going to aim at net, and we've seen how deadly he's been.
4 shots, 9 shots, and 9 shots. What does Singularity have for an encore as they try to tie up the series now? They have Alpha to contend with, and they have contended with him rather easily, and that pass will find Tho. It takes 16 seconds.
Just a little nudge pass going towards the top of the box gets Alpha out of the equation. The net's wide open. Team Singularity start game 4 with a bang.
This was starting to look like a series where it was going to illustrate the clear divide between RLCS and rival series teams this season, remembering, of course, that Singularity and Method were the 3rd and 4th seeds, rather than the 1st and 2nd that you would normally face in a typical promotion tournament. All of a sudden, Singularity has come alive. Alpha's just gone a bit wide there. Remco will come on, try to play a shot on. That's saved by Noli, and he'll go right through Metanoris to Alpha.
Alpha space given, boost in the tank, ball towards net, but a little too wide, and Noli just sends it up the wall. Good defense here from Team Singularity, and that one getting away from Noli. Good challenge from Remco, though, is going to push it in the orange half.
Metanoris will pop that up and leave it for Alpha. Good job by Remco on the other side. You may have just seen a glimpse of him grabbing that boost, making sure that TSM does not get starved out. Noli has Remco challenging from the ceiling. Brilliant defensive play from a wily veteran.
Don't even let him get that flip reset. You see him going up for it, take it away. And Noli can't beat out Alpha, but Godsmilla all the way downfield, forcing Metanoris to go up and use a lot of boost.
Godsmilla with 27 as he goes up. That's going to be blocked away. Noli will keep it in the zone. Noli waiting for someone to play the ball towards him. Instead, though, comes in. Doesn't have a second touch. That goes over Godsmilla. What a quick counterattack. Lightning fast as Metanoris ties the game.
Beautiful redirect all the way downfield, but the pass from Alpha right on point. And just like that, TSM back alive.
Noli not having that boost proved costly for Singularity. He had to go wide down the sideline to collect that corner boost. Wasn't able to get back in front of the net. Noli drops this for Tho, and that's well read by Alpha. Not giving Singularity any hope at all, as that's going to be dropped down and cleared by Noli. But man, Alpha had a ton of time and space, and what was that from Tho and Godsmilla?
That was just a little tie up there on their defensive end, but he's trying to get Alpha out of his mind because he almost got right there.
A lot of traffic down in the corner of the TSM zone. Metanoris will play this out over Godsmilla again, but this time Noli is behind him. Alpha to Metanoris, trying to drop one to Remco, though intercepts. He cut it out very nicely, but they could not get a quality shot on.
Great back pass to keep possession in the orange half here.
Now Remco, straight downfield, looking for the corner. Alpha happens to be there, but though meets him in the corner. That corner boost is going to sit there for a while after the demo traded by Godsmilla. Now Alpha. Oh, he can definitely get a second touch here. Drop down for Metanoris, and Tho is in the way. Remco can't adjust to the ball coming off the side. Nobody's back, and Tho rolls it home.
Good comms here from Team Singularity to let Tho know net's wide open. Just launch it down the field. And just like that, Team Singularity go up by 1.
Back and forth they go, and now we're seeing that lackadaisical defense start to come back and haunt TSM. They gave up 2 goals a season, or 2 goals a game during the regular season. You show me a team that gives up 2 goals
I was going to say.
Might as well crown them as world champions. Up and around, it will be Metanoris and Alpha both going after this ball. Nobody's at the net, and Godsmilla will dish it home.
Pulls off the dish out of the corner. Good steal here to take this ball from TSM. Gathers up that boost and just uses the side roll to put the ball on net.
Another communication breakdown from TSM. They fall behind by 2 as Team Singularity is threatening to tie up this series. Alpha challenged by Tho. Remco just flops in the air, and Noli has his shot saved by Alpha. Follow-up will be deflected away by Remco. He can start this downfield. We've seen TSM score in bunches late in games, including last game. They almost erased a 3-0 deficit, but this will not help. Intercepted by Noli, finished by Tho.
The pass coming off is just a sight to behold. Comes down, and this team has figured out midfield control and, more importantly, infield passing.
That may have erased any suspense here in Game 4. Remco can't score off the kickoff. Those dropped one right down to Alpha. This could be trouble, but Godsmilla is there to back him up. 1 minute remains now for Remco and TSM to try and mount a comeback. Alpha now to the ceiling, challenged by Godsmilla, and that's much more active defense than we're used to seeing out of Singularity.
Yeah, I was going to say, what are you doing letting him come off the ceiling like that? You know he's going to hold on to that flip till the last second, but finally, Godsmilla came in and said, no way, you're not getting that one.
Godsmilla trying to dribble around and kill even more time off this clock. Remco will make the save, but it just seems too little too late for TSM. Even if they can score here, which they very well might with Alpha in charge, but Noli makes the save and the clear. Godsmilla got in front of Alpha yet again, and Tho will get over top of Metsanoris, and that will definitely do it.
Gets it over Metsa and the entire TSM defense.
Yeah, they had thrown caution into the wind, had to just pull the goalie at that point, chase after the game. They may get one with no time left, but they will not. And Team Singularity has tied things up at 2 apiece.
And if there's ever been a team that has turned around completely in a series, this is one of them. This team is showing you their resolve. This team is showing you their grit and tenacity, and just learning this TSM team and how they're trying to play in midfield and taking away all angles and cutting plays away. But this one right here has gotta hurt for TSM and Remco. He's gotta have that touch. His team was totally relying on him.
A team that averages 9 shots a game throughout the regular season and last week's playoffs racks up 10, including 7 from Godsmilla. One of them found the net. It was of little consequence as Team Singularity wins by 3.
Yeah, and so far, Metsanoris, the only player on TSM getting involved every single game here. Remco and Alpha need to do a little bit more here if TSM wants a chance at taking Singularity down.
We saw that goal from Tho. It is his 4th of the series, and boy, Team Singularity has, as you mentioned, turned things around, and now we kind of shift mentally over to TSM, a team that has seen Murphy's Law be enforced time and time again. They almost gave up a 3-1 lead to Method earlier. They've lost a 2-0 lead here. How did they get back into this series?
You got to take control of midfield again, and we were seeing them get very aggressive, bumping and demoing, and then they've just turned silent and kind of crawled into their caves and just turtled up on defense. I want to see them play a little more aggressive up and down the field.
This is not the last chance for either of these teams. Complexity Gaming is waiting for the loser of this match in our final match of the day. But we could still have another 3 games left here between TSM and Team Singularity. Alpha plays all the way to the corner, and Noli will take control. Noli got bumped by Metsanoris, so he can't follow this play, so Alpha will take over. Remco and Metsa way back in front of their own net, almost expecting something to go wrong, and when nothing did, they were too slow to react.
Godsmilla, good pass over, but nobody home there. Just gives that ball right over to Alpha, and a good challenge there. He's controlling midfield all by himself here. Gets that boost away from Metsanoris, not allowing him to push too far forward.
Godsmilla missed that entirely, so now Remco can play it right back in, and Tho needed to make sure he got a lot of air under this. Now Alpha trying to set one up, and that is missed, but Godsmilla will take over.
Yeah, it actually worked in their favor.
Godsmilla out of the corner, has Tho coming on, one more touch. He's got it right between the eyes.
Brookie coming out when this team needs him the most. Good pass from Godsmilla, and Remco just left spinning around in net. The double tap coming from Tho.
Team Singularity continues their furious comeback charge, trying to run out in front of TSM in the series. Godsmilla over towards Tho. Alpha, he was trying to pinch that downfield. He didn't get all of it. So now Godsmilla will intercept at the midfield line, but that's going to be taken over by Metsanoris. He steals the corner boost. So Godsmilla only has 3 to work with, and 3 is enough.
Shaky comms there coming out from Tho and Godsmilla, neither one knowing who's going to go. Tho bombs it downfield. Man, he's hungry to get more goals. He wants another hat trick, just like in Game 3.
Almost, actually was centered by Noli, and a shot in is going to be saved away. Pinched off the crossbar. Now Godsmilla, as the pressure's ramping up from Singularity. Almost seems like a matter of time before they break through, but a clever clear by Alpha critical for TSM, and they turn it into offense on the other side. Metsonoris wants that one back.
Just so close. But you called out that clear from Alpha, coming from the weak side. Good heads-up play, and Metsonoris putting it towards midfield. Good challenge here from Remco to give them space and an offensive opportunity.
Though up against Alpha, Godsmilla has missed this one entirely, so Noli now will meet Remco. Godsmilla back over to Noli, and probably Noli's telling him, oh, nice pass, but I don't have anything to work with. Godsmilla does have stuff to work with, and he might have a little more boost if he tried to steal the corner. Instead, it's Alpha. Alpha around Noli. Remco running interference. Blow him up and go right through.
By one and just let your teammate take out the other. Alpha by Noli there, and a good heads-up play from his teammate Remco. TSM tying this game up just in the second half.
TSM getting that answer that they had lacked in previous games, and much sooner than before. Loose ball claimed by Tho. Intercepted by Alpha, who's got Metsonoris streaking down the side, but now to be Noli. One-on-one against Remco, but the first touch got away from him. Now Alpha to the corner. He'll have Metsonoris waiting, and waiting for eternity. The pass never got there. Remco trying to pop one by Noli. No luck. Now Tho to the backboard. Has to be cleared by Remco. He didn't get out of the zone, but it does fall to Metsonoris. Well done by the TSM defense.
Oh, good cut from Tho to keep that ball away from Alpha. If there's anyone carrying the ball downfield for TSM that you don't want, it's gotta be Alpha.
Metsonoris with nothing left in the tank. He will get a fortuitous middle boost spawn, and that leads to a shot that finds the net.
Good play here coming out from Remco. Just so willing to pass the ball to his teammate, goes right over Noli's head, and TSM take the lead.
Noli just a split second of indecisiveness, and with 70 ticks on the clock, it is TSM back in front. Trying to pull ahead for the first time since losing a 2-game lead.
2 up for TSM.
Alpha drop down to Remco. It's going to be Godsmilla who gets there first. Tho gets a piece of Alpha. That'll take him out of the play for a moment. He'll try to recover and does from behind Noli. Now Tho to pinch one in front. Godsmilla waiting there. Tho up top, and that's sent away by Remco.
Oh, that miss right there is gonna hurt him. Gonna lead to a turnover and a chance for TSM. Noli, the ball at midfield, using a lot of boost to carry it through, but a good 50-50 win there. Keeps it in TSM's half, but Alpha with the ball, look out.
Godsmilla, or Alpha out of the corner. Oh. This goes through. Ricochets all around. Metsonoris credited with a huge goal for TSM.
Who turned on the bouncy ball mutator? This thing just back and forth, and Metsonoris just forcing it in and giving a little bit of space to TSM.
That may have put Game 5 away. It's got to be a frenzied comeback for Team Singularity, and right now the ball's going the wrong way. Now Tho pops one trying to get over Alpha. This will drop down, and Noli's shot sent away by Metsonoris. Noli brings one more in. Tho is there. He's going to need a little more help, and he's not going to get it. That's going to drop down, and TSM are one win away from yet another dance in the RLCS.
Everybody take a little breather here. TSM just came through when it looked like they were out of this match entirely. Just took the pressure completely off themselves and turned it around, put it on Singularity. But man, if Singularity has shown us anything, it's that they are not going down without a fight.
Yeah, it has been back and forth, 2 games at a time. If TSM can win 2 in a row this time around, it'll be curtains for Singularity. What a goal by Metsonoris. Just looky what I found at midfield with that boost spawning. And Noli, I don't think he even expected Metsonoris to be there. I think he had tunnel vision on the ball.
Well, absolutely. You don't expect the pass coming out from Remco. Good unselfish play there from TSM, and that leads to the victory there. But most impressive is the saves that TSM are putting on the board. They're denying shot after shot that Team Singularity are trying to come through with, and it's not easy shots. It's those midfield passing plays that the pass comes in hot and the shot comes in even hotter, and TSM are just holding their ground.
And to put them over a little bit more, imagine these shots are coming in at a frantic pace, but they're getting cleared off to the side. They're not giving these juicy rebound opportunities that Singularity has cleaned up more often than not.
Yeah, and that's just that's just how well TSM's playing defense. If you let that ball go towards the top of the box, someone from Singularity is going to bury it, but you called it, Stacks. They're sitting there, they're waiting, and they're putting the ball where Team Singularity aren't.
Well, Team Singularity is not up at the ceiling as Alpha beats Godsmilla there. And we are off and running in what could be the final game of the promotion tournament for TSM if they can promote or play their way into yet another season of RLCS. Noli's got other plans, and he bullies his way through.
Holy Noli over the entire TSM defense. He gets over Metza, who just made a mistake there, and the momentum behind the ball forces it to the back of the net.
8 goals today for Noli, including 3 in this series. And none perhaps bigger than that one to set the tone for Singularity in Game 6.
Every time Noli has been involved in a goal, they've won that game.
It'll be Tho. Now Noli involved yet again, but Remco is there to snuff out the play. That will go around Godsmilla, so Remco can play it downfield. TSM still way back, but they're coming on now. Now Tho needs a second touch. He's got it out of the corner. Demo on Metanoris will slow things down, could ruin the spacing for TSM, but he recovers nicely, gets to the backboard, pops this away, and yeah, another double commit there between Tho and Noli for Team Singularity. Godsmilla just whiffs on this entirely. They will get this ball back out in front. If they score here, it's their night.
Somehow held on to possession there. The tide's just in their favor. TSM finally get a booming clear downfield. Every member able to gather up some boost because they'll need it on defense here against Singularity.
Tho up top, again beaten out by Metanoris. TSM has tried to win this game well above the field surface, and for the most part, it has worked. It has worked 3 times out of 5. Tho will play this away. Remco now just stops Tho's progress. And now a drop down pass to Remco, goes behind Noli, and he follows up with a shot that goes high. It's one that, I think if you're Remco, you feel like you should score those more often than not.
It was a hard shot to get around the defender and try and keep it in that right side post. He angled his car correctly, but just a little too much mustard put on it. And a good challenge there from Godsmilla, 50-51 on both TSM members, but Remco, plenty of space given to him, dunked by Tho, and Metza puts it into the corner where no one from Singularity is waiting.
Banked off the back wall and cleared by Alpha as Godsmilla was nowhere in sight. So the timing on the attack, not quite working out for Singularity. Metanoris trying to get a triple touch, doesn't work out. Now Godsmilla. He will get that corner boost that Remco left him. Now Tho, tough shot, saved by Alpha. And Godsmilla takes Metanoris out of the play yet again. We've seen Metanoris demoed quite a bit in this series. Not as often though as he has in this game. That's, I believe, now 3 times. Here's Tho. Lobbing another one towards the backboard that Metanoris will boom away. And Alpha thought about it. Now he'll go over Godsmilla. And TSM, you can tell the sense of urgency is certainly there.
Absolutely, but the communication from Singularity starting to get a little bit shaky here. There's been a few times where hesitation has come out from 2 members and they've turned the ball over.
Remco will play it for Metanoris, and Noli will collect this ball, but only gets rid of it to midfield. Tho now over towards Noli, who's got a lot of boost to work with, but he's going to stay on the ground, and Godsmilla takes it instead. Now Noli doesn't have anything to work with, but he does now, as he will watch play on the opposite side, and he'll play this right down the middle. Metanoris is there waiting. Time winding down in Game 6. Singularity closing in on yet another Game 7. It'll be the third time in 4 matches today in Europe.
Not if that net's
with
open.
a double demo, and Remco missed everything.
The net was as wide open as you could want, and somehow no contact was made with that ball. Singularity got away with one there, and a ball launched at net from Noli. About 30 seconds to go, Stacks. TSM still chasing one.
With Singularity trying to close things out and maybe even go into the shell, you're not going to get many quality opportunities. And they let one go by the wayside. A bank shot here is saved away by Alpha. Now Tho, he crossed one over, but Noli was playing conservatively, and why not? With that 1-goal lead, 15 seconds remain, another one dropped in. TSM will have time for one more charge. Tho will dump it back into the corner. More precious seconds coming off the clock. He gets around Metsanoris. Godsmilla just puts one up in the air. Remco goes flying right by it, and that is your ball game.
That's an exclamation mark put on this game by Godsmilla. Good heads up play to just kill time, and then when he baited out the defense, he makes them pay.
And so, as we all expected, another series going to Game 7 in Europe after an unpredictable season. Why wouldn't it come down to one game to put one of these very talented teams into the RLCS?
At this point, if you're TSM, you have to focus on Noli. If he's getting involved on offense, Team Singularity is finding success.
Only 6 shots that time for Singularity, which is bizarre when you think about how they've played all season long. They're a team that they will give up a ton of shots, they will take a lot of shots. Now they go to Champions Field where, again, we're seeing it time and time again. Anything can happen in Game 7.
Yeah, and I really like the gameplay. The last minute and a half there from Singularity,
Absolutely.
They were booming the ball high and far to make TSM use a lot of boost and scramble around. Just good heads-up play to kill the clock there and hang on to that 1-goal lead.
And it has been Tho for most of this series. He got Team Singularity jump-started after they went a couple of games without scoring. Noli has stepped up as well. You haven't seen a ton of scoring out of Godsmilla, but he's been kind of recklessly running through the offensive end and creating havoc for the TSM defense.
He's been lurking at midfield, cutting off so many plays, just turning the ball over, or forcing turnovers rather, from TSM. So yeah, he's not getting involved on the scoreboard, but he's getting involved in the gameplay, which is leading to offensive opportunities for his team. And without him on this field, that midfield would be wide open for TSM.
That is all they need out of the veteran Godsmilla. The only player, actually one of 2 players on this team with Rival Series experience coming into this season. Remco. Challenge there as we start Game 7. It's Alpha with a drive, and Godsmilla and Tho combine on the save and clearance.
Oh, good push from Tho, getting it away from TSM. Gonna transition down the field. Offensive opportunity turned away by Alpha.
It'll be Godsmilla making a beeline for the midfield boost after he realized he could not control that ball. He will play this all the way across. That Alpha is waiting for it though. Now Noli over Remco, and he got the full boost just as he went up. Metsanoris very patiently makes the stop. Popped up by Alpha. Metsanoris tangled up with him as well. It should be Noli to come on, and a little miscommunication between Noli and Tho. That slows up the offensive pressure, and it leads to that shot from TSM.
Oh, and danger there. Noli somehow able to get that ball out, carrying it over, looking for Metza, but Alpha there in the box for the save.
Well, it's nice that he put Metsanoris in the goal, but you don't get any points for scoring defenders. Well, musty flick action there from Alpha. Shot is saved, and now Tho will watch this go right by. Is now Remco trying to drop one underneath. Alpha looking for Tho or boost, got neither.
This could really hurt Team Singularity. A lot of hesitation coming out. I realize it's Game 7, but they've had some opportunities that they've reversed away from the ball.
Alpha against Tho, and Tho somehow had enough pace to take Alpha out of that play, but Alpha won the ball. Now Noli through Alpha, trying to pick his spot under the crossbar, and Remco swoops in for the save. Now it will be Remco. Popping over one, has Noli coming on, and Noli makes a great stop in the corner. No score in Game 7. Winner goes to the RLCS, and Tho very calmly and confidently plays this away and finished off by Noli. Tho with a shot that is going to be high and wide. Alpha drops it over to Metsonoris, and again, well done by the TSM defense, not panicking under a little bit of pressure.
Yeah, it's going to take more than that for this TSM squad to scramble around. Remco looking for Godsmilla. Alpha pops this ball up, but it gets away from Godsmilla all the way downfield and off the glass, but Noli there for the follow-up, unable to shoot it, and Tho puts it in for Team Singularity.
And take a look at Metsonoris. You're not going to see him here because he's already on his way back, but he was waiting to see what Alpha was going to do. So he was like he was stuck in the mud at midfield, could not get back in time to ultimately prevent the attack, and Singularity capitalizes on one little bout of hesitation after TSM had punished them all series long, and then Metsonoris makes up for it immediately!
What a read here with the waterfall to himself. Metsa following through and doesn't even touch the ground. TSM not going away like that.
What an answer with 2:10 to go, and after all that work by Singularity to finally squeak one through, it doesn't matter. We're right back to square one. This is blocked at the midfield line. It'll be shot on by Remco. Follow-up nowhere to be found, and Tho will bring it back to the TSM side. Godsmilla taken out by Metsonoris, but not before he got a pass off, and a miss coming off the backboard could have been costly. Now Metsonoris back the other way. Tho not bothered one bit, so clear it back downfield. Team Singularity have the upper hand now, trying to get their second goal and go back in front in Game 7. Alpha trying to shift the momentum, but the ball brought right back in by Tho. Noli over two. Remco left all alone, and he may still be there. Metsonoris comes in and gets a critical touch.
Oh, Team Singularity just marching further and further towards the orange goal. Great pass over to Noli. Noli back to Tho, and Tho turned away by Alpha, but Godsmilla there for the follow-up, puts that ball up, and Remco bombs it downfield.
Tho will bring this across, playing with fire a little bit, and the timing not there with Godsmilla. Noli does get this ball away, no pressure from TSM, but now they're coming in with 45 seconds left. Alpha, he is up, looking to drop one down. Metsonoris, may have played hero!
Metsonoris coming in clutch, but Alpha puts this ball on a dime for him.
And there are some players waiting for the loser of this match that thought, yeah, dropping Metsonoris was a good idea. 2-1 with 39 seconds left. Alpha playing one all the way through. TSM looking to kill off the closing seconds. Team Singularity need to scramble. All hands on deck on the offensive end. Tho will take a wide turnaround. Throw into the backboard. That kissed the ceiling, and Remco played it well. Rolled all the way out with 15 seconds left, but Tho got the corner boost. Now Tho, challenged by Alpha. Made his presence felt in more unconventional ways in this series. Across to Noli. Godsmilla.
You're kidding.
To Tho one time, and Alpha makes the save, and that demo does it. TSM will go back to the RLCS.
The veteran Remco securing this victory for his team.